For this week, wala ulit si Sir Adel, so I'll be handling yung lecture classes for both Tuesday and Thursday classes natin. And for today's session, ang goal lang natin is to cap off everything with yung caches. Right, so this is part 3 of yung lecture natin regarding caches. Okay, so as a recap of what we've discussed or what Sir Adel has discussed to you over the past few weeks, ang diniscuss natin is, okay, we essentially insert a cache in between the processor and the main memory, right? And the goal right here is to create what we call yung memory hierarchy natin, right? We want as much as possible kasi na yung memories natin are very fast. We want them to be very fast. We also want them to be as large as possible. And we want them also to be inexpensive. Right? Meron tayong tatlong metrics when it comes to the memories. Again, we want them to be as fast as possible para lahat ng memory access natin ay mabilis. We want them to be as large as possible kasi gusto natin makapag-store as much data as we want. And gusto rin natin inexpensive siya. Right? And the problem with this one is that if I try to create memories that are very large, ang nagiging problem is, nagiging sobrang bagal sila, right? If lumalaki na lumalaki yung main memory natin, the memory access becomes very slow. Yung propagation delay natin becomes very high to the point na nagiging slow na yung memory accesses natin. And if we create memories that are also large, then mas nagiging expensive din sila, mas nagiging costly yung memories na ganun. And so, ang ginawa natin is, instead of building memories that have the following properties that satisfy all of these three properties or metrics, nagbe-build tayo ngayon ng memory in between the processor and the main memory, right? So now we have here a cache in between the processor and the main memory, wherein this cache right here has a capacity much lower than the main memory, right? So yung capacity nito is much less than the capacity of your main memory. But now, since mas maliit yung memory na nilalagay natin in between the processor and the main memory, then we can actually create this cache to be very fast. Right? So now, mas mabilis yung speed nito as compared to yung speed ng main memory. And what's the goal here? So since mas maliit na ngayon yung capacity ng cache as compared to the main memory, only a subset of the data can be stored in the cache. Only a subset of the data stored in the main memory yung kayang malagay dun sa cache. Okay? So ang ginagawa natin dito ngayon is, sa cache, nag-store lang tayo ng mas maliliit na data from the main memory. And yung data that we store dun sa cache ay yung mga data na most likely i-access din natin in the future. Right? So doon pumapasok pa yung dalawang types of locality. Nalala pa yun? So we have temporal pati spatial. If we say na meron tayong temporal locality, then if you access that data, then most likely in the future, you're going to access the same data. Okay? So we store it inside the cache. Sa spatial locality naman, ang concept is, if you access a given data, then most likely, i-access din natin in the future yung mga data na malapit sa kanya. Okay, so para yun yung PC+4 or yung next data natin na ina-access. Okay? So now, with this cache right here, sabi natin, only a subset of the data can be present right here. So when the processor asks a location doon sa memory, then most likely, hindi natin siya laging makikita doon sa cache. And so meron tayo ngayong concept ng cache hit, pati cache miss, wherein, okay, if the processor wants to access this main memory 0x006004, and if that memory data or that memory location is present dun sa cache, then the cache just returns that data pabalik dun sa processor. And again, if you have a cache hit, sobrang bilis lang nung access natin. As compared, if, let's say, you're going to access this data right here, the data at this memory location, since this is still not present in the cache, ang ginagawa natin is first, to fetch the data from the main memory, papunta dun sa cache, and once the cache stores or holds that data, then the cache can now return that value or that data papunta doon sa processor. Again, yun yung cache hit saka yung cache misses natin. And of course, if we're using caches right here, we want as much as possible to increase yung hit rate, right? Yung cache hit. So naalala po yung parang formula natin or for AMAT, average memory access time. So it's equal to yung parang hit ratio times hit time plus miss ratio miss time. So this hit time right here is the average access dun sa cache. This miss time right here would be gaano katagal before nating makuha yung result from the main memory. And of course, we want as much as possible na yung AMAT na to, yung average memory access time na to, is as low as possible, right? We want as possible na maging very fast yung access time natin. And so, dapat nilolower, or dapat yung goal dito is ma-reduce natin itong miss ratio na to or to increase itong hit ratio na to. Okay, kasi as you compare these times right here, hit time is definitely much less than yung miss time. And so again, you try to increase this hit ratio so we can reduce itong miss ratio right here. Okay? And also, when it comes to caches, sabi natin, merong specific locations doon sa cache kung saan natin pwedeng i-store yung mga data natin. And we typically partition yung ating addresses into these fields right here. Okay? So yung tag would be some unique ID of that block. Index would be aling row doon sa cache natin siya balak isulat. And then yung offset is just pertains kung byte addressable yung memory na tinitingnan natin. Okay? So with that, na-discuss din ni Sir Adel yung different cache associativities. Right? So we have here direct map, set associative, pati yung mga fully associative na caches. And the idea with direct map caches is that, okay, given this main memory right here and this cache right here, each block of data na nasa main memory can only be placed to specific locations dun sa cache. So for example, itong mga red blocks na to can only be placed at row number 0. Ganun din siya for, let's say, yung orange, na you can just place them to the orange ones, this greens to row number 2, and so on and so forth. So merong specific location kung saan natin pwedeng i-store yung blocks of data na to. So that's direct map. So directly map yung main memory dun sa caches natin. So it's tied specifically to some locations etong mga data natin. As compared when you have fully associative, wherein any block of data right here can be placed anywhere dun sa cache. Okay? So again, it can be placed anywhere dun sa cache. And in between, we have yung set associative. Right? In between direct map and full associative, we have here yung set associative, wherein still, you have rows of, or you have lines of data right here, but now, if you say you have n-way set associative na cache, then you can place each data n number of ways dun sa ating cache. So for example, dito, you have a two-way set associative na cache. So each block of data right here can be placed to exactly 2 lines, 2 rows. Okay? Okay, any questions first before we proceed to the next part? Okay, so again, I think na-discuss din naman before na yung direct map and fully associative are actually just examples of yung set associative na cache, right? If yung set associative natin has only one way, then it's direct map na cache, right? It's only one line natin pwedeng isulat yung data natin. As compared kapag yung set associative natin has n ways, where n is the number of lines right here, then that essentially maps to yung fully associative. You can map it to any line dun sa cache natin. Okay, so now, how does this associativity affect yung average memory access time? So tulad ng sinabi natin before, we want as much as we can na i-decrease yung average memory access time. And dito, as you can see right here, the different associativities definitely affect, right? It definitely affect yung average memory access time natin as seen right here. And dito, yung sinasabi lang ng graph na to is that y-axis here pertains to the miss ratio, while x-axis here refers to the size of the cache. And as you increase the cache size, right, habang lumalaki yung cache size, lumiliit yung miss ratio. Right? Kasi nadidecrease natin yung capacity misses. But the problem is, yung associativity also affects yung ating miss ratio. Right? The higher the associativity of the cache is, mas nare-reduce naman natin yung number of conflict misses. Kaya dito, as you increase the number of ways or as you go to a fully associative na cache, then nagdi-decrease din yung miss ratio natin. Okay? So that would be your conflict. So nare-reduce natin yung conflict as you, nadi-decrease yung conflict as the associativity increases. As the cache size increases naman, then yung capacity misses also decreases right here. Okay, sige, bakit naman nagiging ganito yung graph when it comes to hit time versus number of ways? Okay, so ang sinasabi lang dito is that as you increase the associativity, tumataas yung hit time. Because mas marami na kayong lines yung kailangan nating i-check kung equivalent ba siya dun sa target natin na memory location. And since lumalaki yung combinational circuit na yun, then parang tumataas yung propagation delay, right? So kung tumataas propagation delay, then mas matagal din before nating ma-access or to determine whether that memory access is a hit or a miss. And so when we combine this miss ratio, yung hit time, and plot it with regards dun sa average memory access time, we see na ganito yung plot natin. So at some point, merong optimal number of ways for us to have the minimum average memory access time. And we want as much as possible na yung cache configuration natin should have the following access time. Okay, so far, what we've been doing is, we always try to read something from the memory. Right? So far, yung ginagawa natin would be, okay, I just load something from the main memory, right? So if you look here, the processor asks some memory location dun sa main memory, and the main memory just provides the data stored at that specific location. So far, panay reads lang, memory reads lang yung ginagawa natin. So, paano ngayon nababago yung memory writes natin? Right? So now, what happens if the processor has, let's say, store word na instructions? If we want to write something to the main memory. Okay, so here, meron tayong dalawang policies na tinitingnan. So una would be for cache hit. Cache hit means the memory location kung saan gusto nating magsulat ng data, present na siya dun sa cache. Also, meron din tayong example or policies wherein meron naman tayong cache misses. So that means the memory location is still not present dun sa cache. So let's first discuss what happens or what the policies are if meron tayong cache hit. So looking here, meron tayong dalawang types. We have write-through and write-back. So para hindi na natin basahin siguro yung nakasulat sa slides, let's try to look at some example right here. So figure na lang. Okay, so here is the processor. This is the main memory, and again, you have the cache in between. And ang sinasabi, if cache hit, then that means the address kung saan natin gustong magsulat is already present dun sa cache. Okay, yun yung cache hit. Kapag write-through policy, we want, kung ano man yung data na gustong isulat ng processor at that specific memory location, we just write that data to both the cache and to the main memory. Kaya write-through. Isusulat natin siya hanggang dun sa main memory. Okay, so whenever you want to write something and present na ngayon yung memory location na yun sa cache, again, isusulat lang natin siya to both the cache and the main memory right here. Okay? Ang advantage nito, it's simple to implement. Okay? Whenever you want to write something, then just write to the cache, write also to the main memory. Okay? But the problem here is, sabi natin, every memory access is very slow. And so when we want to write something to the main memory pa, whenever we plan to use yung write-through na policy, then sobrang bagal din ng write accesses natin or write speeds natin. Okay? So again, it's very, very slow if we want to write to the main memory then. So now, instead of writing to the main memory pa, we just write to the cache whenever we have a write back na policy. Okay? So if the data or if the address is present in the cache, okay? Isusulat lang natin yung data na yun at that specific memory location. Okay? Only sa cache. Hindi na natin kailangan isulat yung data na yun pabalik dun sa main memory. Okay? So now, yung write speeds natin, very, very fast na as compared kapag sinusulat natin yung data pati dun sa main memory. But what's the problem right here? Right? It's possible na yung data right here na nakastore sa main memory is different kung ano man yung gusto nating isulat, right? Possible na different itong purple block na to dun sa orange block na to. And so, whenever we want to write something using the write back na policy, then we flag itong data na to as dirty. So now, nagdadagdag tayo ng metadata dun sa ating cache to store itong dirty bit na to. Okay? So whenever you set dirty bit to be equal to 1, that means you write to the cache, pero hindi tayo nag-write papunta dun sa main memory. And so it's possible na different again yung data stored sa dalawang blocks na to. Okay, so again, comparing both of these policies, kapag meron tayong write-through, kapag present na yung address dun sa cache, we write both to the cache and dun sa main memory. Kapag meron naman tayong write back, we only write dun sa cache. Okay? The problem with the first policy is that, again, had to write speeds natin very, very slow. Kasi you always have to write something to the main memory, which is very slow. Kapag write back naman, although mabilis ngayon yung write speeds natin kasi you only have to access the cache, the problem is now, these data may be different, and so we flag this as 30 to indicate na whatever data is stored inside the cache would be different to the data stored in sa main memory. Okay? Okay, so now, ano yung nagiging problems right here? So now, meron tayong dirty bit na sineset natin to be equal to 1. Pero naalala pa, yung cache is very, very small. Tama? And so it's possible na itong purple block na to, ma-replace natin. Ma-replace natin in the future. Right? So if we want to replace this purple block in the future, what happens is, if nakita natin na yung dirty bit is equal to 1, then we write this purple line to, or purple block, to the main memory right here. Okay? Para, ngayon, equivalent na yung data dun sa main memory, pati dun sa cache. Okay, is that clear? So again, ang ginagawa lang natin is that whenever you want to replace this purple block in the future, kapag i-replace na natin siya, the idea is, okay, if I see that this block right here is dirty, so dirty bit is equal to 1, then we just write it back dun sa main memory. So saka lang natin siya isusulat dun sa main memory. Okay? Okay? Question so far? Okay. So sige, try lang natin tingnan itong write back policy na to for cache hits. So for example, if the processor wants to write something to this memory location, so again, instead of writing that data pabalik din doon sa main memory, we only write it dun sa cache. Para for example, at the next time the processor wants to read that specific memory location, the cache can send it back papunta dun sa CPU. Very, very fast. Right? So yung cache reads natin are very fast. But now, again, if I want to replace this block of data right here, and if I see that data is dirty, then I just need to write it back dun sa main memory. dun sa specific memory location talaga niya. Right, so now, ano naman yung policies natin when it comes to cache misses? So again, meron tayong dalawang types. We have yung write allocate, saka no write allocate. So, kapag cache miss, that means the memory location kung saan gusto nating mag-store ng data is not available dun sa cache. So when we say write allocate, we first load the data stored from the main memory, right? Load muna natin itong data na to, papunta dun sa cache. And now, since na-load na natin yung data na yun or yung memory address na yun at this, then now it's a cache hit, right? Since na-load na natin ito, then it's a cache hit. And typically, when you have write allocate na policy, this is typically complemented by yung write back na policy. Okay, so again, the idea is if cache miss, you first want to load the data stored dun sa main memory. Isulat natin siya papunta dun sa cache para at the next time, it's already a cache hit. And kapag cache hit na siya, then I can use yung write back policy na to. Okay, again, flagging itong specific block of data na to to be dirty. Now, meron din tayong isang type of write policy if we have cache misses. And that type would be no write allocate, wherein yung itsura naman would be as follows. If the data or the memory location is not present dun sa cache, then we just write the data dun sa main memory lang. Okay, we only write it dun sa main memory. We don't have to load yung data stored here papunta dun sa cache. Okay, again, it's very, very simple, but then again, ang problem dito is that sobrang bagal, right? Ng write speeds natin. Kasi you always have to write to the main memory. Okay? So combining all of these, we typically have the following write policies for different caches. So meron tayong write through cache without write allocation. So that means kapag write through, again, isusulat natin yung data papunta dun sa main memory. Kapag sinabi natin without write allocation, then again, if cache miss tayo, I just write it back dun sa main memory. Meron din tayong example ng caches wherein meron kang write back. So whenever we have write back, then you also have yung dirty bit. And if you have that, then typically pinapartner natin siya with write allocation naman, with write allocation. Okay, so let's try to check itong flowchart na to para lang i-summarize what we've discussed whenever you have cache reads and cache writes. Okay, so here you have write through cache without write allocation. Okay, so try natin intindihin yung flowchart. So of course, meron tayong different request types na pwedeng gawin sa cache. Gusto nating either magbasa lang or gusto nating magsulat. So again, this is typically used if you have load word. Ito naman would be for store word, store instructions. So if we want to read something from the cache with this type of policy for writing, then if it's a cache hit, right? Whenever we want to read, if it's a cache hit, then the cache sends the data back to the processor. Yun lang yung kwento, right? So again, if you want to read something from the main memory or from the cache, and it's a cache hit, then again, you just return the data. But the problem is, if cache hit or if cache miss tayo, ang ginagawa natin typically is to load or read yung data from the main memory. Read natin yung data from the main memory, send it to the cache, and then the cache sends that data back to the processor. Okay, yun yung typical kwento na pinag-uusapan natin before. So now, paano na yun nababago whenever you have write policy? So here, if yung memory request natin is a write type and it's a cache hit, ang ginagawa lang natin is first, Looking here, sorry. Right, so if it's a cache hit, then you write it both to the cache and dun sa main memory. Now, if it's a cache miss, then you only have to write that data papunta dun sa main memory. Okay? So again, very, very simple lang. Yung problem lang again dito is, because we want to write something to the main memory always, then lahat ng write speeds natin are very, very slow. So now, instead of having write-through cache without write allocation, we introduce yung write-back na cache with write allocation. So kapag write-back, you insert dirty bit sa metadata. So now, okay, mas complex na yung flowchart natin, right? Okay, so let's try to first to look at yung cache writes. So if it's a hit, ano ulit yung ginagawa natin? So if it's a hit, you only have to write the data dun sa cache, right? And then, you have to modify the metadata para dapat dirty bit na yung data na yan. Okay, that's if it is a cache hit. Otherwise, kapag hindi naman siya cache hit or it's a cache miss, what we do is, looking here, right? We have first to load yung data from the main memory, pabalik dun sa cache, para at the next time, it's already a cache hit. And now, we can now perform yung write-back policy again. Wherein, we write to this specific memory location, and then flag it as dirty. So in summary, ito lang siya. Okay? Questions? Okay, pero dito, meron tayong napapansin, okay, bakit merong ganitong part ng flowchart? Ang tinatanong lang natin dito is, for example, so tama nung ginagawa natin is first to retrieve the data from the main memory and isulat siya sa cache. The problem is, if yung susulatan nating block is flagged as dirty, right? Ibig sabihin, hindi equal whatever that data is na nasa cache as compared dun sa main memory. So if we want to write to a block that contains dirty data, then first, we have to write that dirty data pabalik dun sa main memory before we can do yung pag-write dito from the main memory pabalik dun sa cache. So ito yung part ng flowchart na yan. Okay? So if it's dirty, then first you have to write whatever that data is dun sa main memory. Tapos saka pa lang natin i-read yung data from the main memory pabalik dun sa cache. Okay? So if you have this type of caches, ano yung itsura ng metadata natin? Ano ulit yung components ng isang metadata for caches? So you have yung tag, yung unique ID for each block. What else? You have yung valid bit, right? Kasi sabi natin, at startup, yung data na nakastore dun sa cache is not valid. And so, we set everything to be equal to 0 to specify na whatever data is stored dun sa cache is not valid. And finally, you have here yung dirty bit. Okay? Dirty bit kapag meron tayong mga write-back na policy. Okay? Sige, question. What if we're only considering itong write-through na cache without write allocation? Ano yung itsura ng metadata natin? So of course, you still have the tag. You have the unique ID of that block. You still have the valid. But now, you don't have itong dirty bit na to. Okay? Kasi you always write something to the main memory. So laging equivalent yung data sa main memory pati dun sa cache. Okay? Yun lang yung point ng dirty bit. If the data stored inside the cache is different from the data stored dun sa main memory, then it's dirty. And if you want to replace that data, then first you have to write that pabalik dun sa main memory. Okay? So now, although mas nagiging complex yung metadata natin, the benefit with this kind of cache configuration is that because you only always have to write dun sa cache, right? Most likely you only have to access or write dun sa cache. Mas mabilis ngayon yung write accesses natin. Okay? So bumabagal lang siya whenever you have to write the previous data back to the main memory. So this is the only time that we have to write something back to the main memory. Whenever we want to replace that dirty bit or that dirty data. Okay? Yun lang yung cases wherein we write something back to the main memory. Okay? But considering that, mas mabilis pa rin ito as compared dito. Whenever you have write accesses. Okay? So, in summary, in terms of caches, if we increase yung capacity ng ating cache, of course, nare-reduce natin yung capacity misses, and so nare-reduce din natin yung miss rate. But the problem is, if lumalaki kasi yung memory natin or yung cache, then definitely mas nagiging matagal din yung hit times natin. Right? Kasi mas maraming lines yung kailangan nating i-check kung equivalent ba siya dun sa requested na tag natin. Okay. Ano naman yung itsura kapag larger yung block size natin sa isang cache? So kapag larger yung block size, that means mas marami kang bytes that you can store. So mas na-utilize natin yung tinatawag natin na spatial locality. But the problem is, whenever you want to retrieve all of those data from the main memory papunta dun sa cache, mas matagal siya kasi mas marami tayong kailangang i-fetch. And lastly, if you try to increase the associativity, then mas lumiliit yung miss rate because nare-reduce natin yung conflict misses, right? As compared kapag meron kang direct map na caches. But again, if you have higher associativity, then mas maraming lines yung chine-check natin for equivalence dun sa requested na tag natin. And so higher yung hit time. So if you increase one aspect of yung cache configuration natin, so for example, even though we try to improve yung miss rate, at some point, yung other aspects naman niya ay nabubursen. For example, itong hit time. Kaya as we can see right here, merong optimal, let's say, associativity, merong optimal cache size for given memory access or for given memory writes. Okay, any questions dito sa ating write policies? Right, sige, follow question, then let's try to analyze what happens to the cache kapag nag-execute tayo ng isang given program. So, essentially what we want to look here is, given this program, given this cache configuration, ano yung parang effective cache hit rate natin? Okay, so let's say you're given the following program and the following cache configuration. Tapos, the idea is we want to look ano yung cache hit rate nito. Okay, sige, analyze muna natin yung given program. So you have here an array na can store 512 na words. So from 1, dito naka-store from 1 up until 512. So array of integer, 512 yung number of elements. Tapos let's say we also have here a variable, integer variable na sum. So here, ang ginagawa lang natin essentially is for every iteration of the loop, we access one element of the array right here. So una, you access index 0. The next loop, next iteration, you index, you have here index 1, index 2, and so on and so forth until you reach 511. Okay? So now, ano yung cache hit rate dito? So before we can actually analyze the cache rate or cache hit rate for a given program, first, we have to determine ano muna yung itsura ng cache natin. Okay? So you have here 64-byte, fully associative na cache with 8-byte blocks. So first, sige, draw muna natin yung cache. So let's say ito yung cache natin. Tapos sabi dito, we have 8 byte na blocks. So that means, each block has 2 words, right? Word 1, or word 0 and word 1. Okay? 2 words. So now, gaano karaming data yung kaya nating store? So you have here 64 byte, yung size ng cache. So it can only store 64 bytes of data. So that means, for this given cache, you have 2 lines, right? 64, sorry, you have 8 lines. 64/8. So 0, 1, 2, dot, 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 up until 7. Okay? So each of these can store 4 bytes. 4 bytes, tapos 8 times 8, that would be 64 bytes. Okay, so again, meron tayong 8 lines dun sa cache natin. And each line can store up to 2 words. Right? Kasi 8 bytes yung block natin. Okay, so when we say cache or associative na cache, that means kaya natin isulat any block from the main memory to any line, right? Dun sa cache natin. And so effectively, if we partition yung address into yung tag, index, and yung offset, ano yung offset natin, or index muna na for this one? Index would be 0, right? Kasi again, you can store to any line right here. So index mo would be 0. What about offset? Since now you have 8 byte na block, so log base 2 of that would be 3, and that would be your offset. And then finally, yung tag bits natin would be equivalent to, let's say you have a 32-bit byte addressable na memory. So tag bits or the unique ID would have 32 minus 3 or 29 bits. Okay? Alright, so again, fully associative na cache with this cache size and with this block size. Okay, so let's try to analyze what happens if you have the following program. And let's say, of course, you have an array of data right here. Let's say this is stored contiguously dun sa main memory natin. Okay, so ibig sabihin, store sila sunod-sunod dun sa main memory. So let's say this is at address 0, this would be at address 4, the next would be at address 8, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what happens if I access index 0? If I access index 0, what happens is, I load the data from memory address 0, tapos since I have to load 2 words, then naloload ko rin yung data at memory address 4. Tama? mem0, mem4. Okay? Initially, mem0 pati mem4. So when I access array 0, ano to? Cache hit, cache miss. So this would be a miss, right? Kasi this, ano type of miss siya? This would be compulsory kasi ito yung cold start ng caches natin. Initially, empty pa siya. Okay, so when you access index 0, again, it's a cache miss because of compulsory na miss. Okay, at the next iteration loop, what happens? You're going to access array 1, right? But that data is already stored inside dun sa cache. So this would be a hit, right? So dito na-utilize natin yung ating spatial locality since you can store 2 words at a time. Okay, what now happens if you have to access the second element, or the third element rather? So if you have to access the third element, then since wala pa siya dun sa cache, yung kwento is, ano lang yung kwento? So the processor requests the index or the data at index number 2 or index 3. Tapos, since wala pa siya dun sa cache, it's a cache miss. The main memory or the cache retrieves that data from the main memory And now, the main memory sends it back to the cache, and then the cache sends that data back to the processor. So here, since wala pa ulit yung data natin, then we have to load it. Saan? Saan natin siya pwedeng isulat? So then, since this is fully associative na cache, you can write it anywhere. Okay? So let's say this cache has a replacement policy na is decent use. Okay? Kung sino man yung pinaka-last or yung pinaka-hindi gamit, siya yung i-replace na. Okay? So now you have here mem8. Tapos, since we have to load 2 words lagi, then you also have to load mem12. Okay? So whenever you have to access array 2, this would be a cache hit or miss. So this would be a miss. If you have to access this, then this would be a hit. Okay? Kasi nandito na yung data na yun. Okay? So if you follow this pattern, what now is the effective cache hit rate? So for every 1 miss, meron tayong isang hit. Right? So, sa dalawang accesses natin, isa doon ay hit. And so, essentially we have a 50% na hit rate dito. Okay? 50% of the time, hit yung sa cache. Okay? Okay, what if now you have 32-byte na blocks? So what happens if now 32-byte yung blocks natin? So, sabi dito, it's better to analyze this one if you can use actually a simulator para merong visual representation. Okay? So actually, you can have this sa RIPES na simulator. So sa RIPE simulator, aside from, sige, pakita natin. So sa RIPES, of course, meron tayo ng pipeline processor. Pero sa mga tabs na to, makikita rin natin yung caches. And dito sa cache natin, you can actually write or do any cache configuration by specifying, okay, dito, ilang lines siya. Dito, for example, ilang lines. Ano yung associativity? Ano yung word block natin? Right? Gano'ng karaming words yung kaya nating i-store sa isang block? Tapos, anong replacement policy? Also, ano yung ating policy kapag meron naman tayong mga write accesses? So, write back and write through. Pag write misses naman, write allocate, saka no write allocate. So, okay, lahat nung diniscuss natin, essentially, it's just an option dito sa RIPES. Ayaw mag-zoom. Anyway. Alright, so balik tayo dun sa slides. Okay. So now, let's say, given ulit tayo ng specific, or sige, let's try to, walk through muna kung ano ibig sabihin nitong mga to. Right, so if you have a direct map na cache, okay, direct map yung cache, that means one-way tayo, one-way set associative. So you're going to set the number of ways here to be equivalent to 1. Now, if you want to store 4 words right here, then this option right here should be equivalent to 4, right? This thing right here would be equivalent to 4. But what's actually asked dun sa RIPES would be the value of n right here. So if n is equal to 2, then that means you can store 4 words in total dun sa RIPES. Okay, so again, yung ina-ask dito sa specific text box na to would be the value of n right here. And ganun din actually for the number of lines. What's asked right here is the value of n. So if n is equal to 3, 2 raised to 3, that would be 8 lines dun sa ating cache. Okay, so if you want to have the following cache configuration, direct map na cache, tapos you have 4 words na block size, then you have to set yung cache configuration as follows dun sa RIPES. Okay, clear so far? Oops. Okay, let's say you want to have the following. Sige, anong associativity natin for this one? Anong associativity natin? Or sige, ano muna yung block size? Block size natin for this one would be 4 words, right? 4 na words yung kaya nating isulat. How about yung associativity? The associativity rito would refer to, or would be, ilang ways? 2 ways, right? Dalawang ways. So either sa line na to, or sa line na to. So you have a 2-way set associative na cache. Okay? So ito, 2-way set associative. So kahit dito muna tayo. So 2-way set associative, tapos since you have 4 words, then you have to set this to be equivalent to 2. Okay? But now, actually, medyo iba yung pag-define ni Ripes when it comes dun sa lines. So here, right, if you look here, meron tayong 16 lines sa way we define it sa lecture. Tama, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, up until 16 right here. So you have 16 total number of lines for this cache right here. But the way Ripes describe yung lines dito would be the number of sets na diniscuss natin sa lecture. So here, you have how many sets? You have 1, 2, 3, up until here. So you have 8 sets right here. Since you have 8 sets, then you have to specify here to be equal to the base of that. Okay? So yun yung in-specify natin when you have lines, at least sa Ripes. So siguro, naman naka-highlight in orange yung mga notes. So, kapag nagbigay naman, for example, sa exam, kapag lines yung dinedescribe, magiging clear naman kami. Is it Ripes definition or yung definition natin sa lecture? But of course, we'll follow yun sa lecture. Okay? So again, 16 lines ito, or 8 sets. So kapag 8 sets, then you have to set this to be equivalent to 3. Okay? What if you want to make fully associative na caches? Ano dapat yung, let's say, number of lines natin? So let's say you still have, let's say you have 16 lines, but now you have to make it a fully associative na cache. Ilan yung number of lines? Or ano dapat yung n natin dito? Ilang sets ulit yung meron tayo whenever you have fully associative? It's a one big set, right? And so, you have to set this to be equivalent to 0, right? 2 raised to 0 is 1. So 1 set. How about the number of ways? So here, it's 16 ways, right? You have 16 lines kung saan pwede ka magsulat, 16 lines. Okay? Ayan, so nakuha niyo na, I think, yung most of the concept. So dito, since meron tayong 8 lines, and you want to make it to be fully associative, you have to set this to be equal to 0. You have to set the number of ways to be equal to 8. And since now you have 4 words right here, then this should be 2. 2 raised to 2 or 4 words per line. Okay? Clear? Sige. Dito, what's interesting is, kaya nating makita kung ano yung partition natin. So the lower bits, kita ba yung cursor? Yeah. So the lower bits would be the offset. The next lower bits would be the index. And then, this most significant bits would be yung ating tag. Okay, so let's say we want to create again a fully associative na cache. So kapag fully associative, this would be 0, right? And let's say you have 8 ways. Okay? So notice, na since meron tayong 4 na words, ano dapat yung offset natin? Ilang bits? Ilang bits yung offset kapag meron kang 4 words? Ayan, nakalagay na. Ilang bits yan? Right, so if you have 4 words, right? Ilang bytes yun in total? Ilan? 8? 4 words? Each word is 4 bytes, right? So you have 16 bytes in total. Log base 2 of that would be 4. So you have 4 bits sa offset. Kaya 3, 2, 1, 0. This would be the offset bits right here. And then yung 31 up until 4 would be the tag. The remaining bits would be for the tag. Okay? Clear? So let's say you have here, so let's say in-increase natin to 3. So now, you have 8 words in total. 8 words times 4, that would be 32 bytes in total, log base 2 of that. And so now you have 5 bits for the offset, and then the remaining bits would be for the tag. Alright, so again, what's interesting with this RIPes processor or simulator is that kaya nating makita. Okay? Kaya nating makita yung partitioning natin when it comes to your tag, index, pati dun sa ating offset. Okay? So notice, na when we increase the number of sets, nung tin-increase natin yung number of sets, now nagkaroon tayo ng index bit right here. Okay? Ayun. So ito yung offset right here, yung 5 up until 0, yung 6, 5 would be the index bit. Since again meron kang dalawang sets, then you have index 0 saka index 1 right here. Okay? Clear so far? Okay, so let's go back to this example right here. So, this C program, kapag kinompile natin siya, sige. So, kapag kinompile natin siya, ito yung makukuha natin assembly. Tapos, yung goal natin dito is to write that assembly code right here. Okay? Tapos, yung goal natin dito is to monitor what happens to the cache hit rate. Right? Makikita lang natin yung memory accesses na ginagawa natin right here. But before that, once you have that code right there, we first have to configure properly yung cache natin. Since yung goal is to create or to have a cache, fully associative cache with 64 bytes and 8 byte na blocks, then we have the following configuration right here. So 0, kasi it's fully associative. Tapos since we have 8 lines, you have 8 ways right here. And then finally, since meron ng 2 words, value here should be 1. So let's try it sa RIPes ngayon. Okay? So ilan ulit? 0, the number of ways would be 8. This would be 1 right here. Right? Ito yung drawing natin kanina. Ito yung cache configuration natin. Tapos let's say, I have here the program converted lang into assembly, and the goal lang is to access each index dun sa array natin. Okay, each element dun sa array. So first, I'll have to access this word 1 right here, then word 2, word 3, and so on and so forth. Okay. Oops. So let's try to run lang siya. Yun. Okay, so initially, I have to access index 0, okay? So if ginawa ko yun, then look here. If cache miss tayo, then it's seen as a red line right here. Okay? So here, nakapartition siya yung tag and yung words that we have to write. Okay? So yung word na kailangan isulat is 1. Tapos, at the next loop, or at the next iteration ng loop, sige, click, ayan, right? Nakita na na-access yung data here, and so, it's a cache hit. Tapos notice dito, meron tayong percentage for yung cache hits natin. Okay? Tapos, let's try to run it very, very fast lang. So let's say 100 milliseconds. Run natin. Notice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Okay, pause. Okay. Okay, so what happens if napuno na yung cache natin? So now, meron tayong capacity miss. And so kapag ganun, since this follows LRU type na replacement policy, kung ano man yung pinaka hindi natin ginamit, right, siya yung papalitan. And in this case, it's the first line. Kaya notice na napalitan yung first line. Okay? So here, notice na up until decimal 32 lang i-access natin. Okay, so run lang natin siya ulit. Done, so on, and so forth. Okay, and again, nakikita natin dito yung cache hit natin, which approaches yung 50% na nakita natin before. Okay? Clear? Questions? So now, what happens if you still have 64-byte na block, but now 30 or 64-byte na cache, but now yung block size natin is 32 bytes. Okay, ano muna yung itsura ng ating cache? Natapos na ba siya? Yeah, natapos na siya. Okay? Questions? Alright. So what happens if you have 32-byte na blocks? So again, initial, before we can determine yung cache hit rate natin, would be to draw first kung ano yung itsura ng cache natin. Okay, so 64 bytes of data yung kaya nating store, and then you have here 32-byte, that would be yung block size natin. Okay. So let's say you have here yung cache. Kung meron tayong 32 bytes, right, gano'ng karaming words yung kaya nating ma-store right here? So we can store 8 words. So that means from word 0, word 1, dot, 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 up until word 7. Okay? So each of these can store 1 word or 4 bytes. So now, ilang lines yung meron tayo? So now we have 2 lines right here. So nakadraw na. Meron tayong 2 lines. And since this is a fully associative na cache, then we can write to any line right here. And so, we have one big set. Okay? So sige, let's first try to analyze what happens dun sa program if you have the following. So again, access index 0 up until index 511. Okay, so let's say you have to access array 0 first. Since initially the cache is empty, you have to write it, right? It's a cache miss. So kung miss siya, then again, the cache has to fetch the data from the main memory. The main memory sends it back to the cache, and then the cache sends back the data back to the processor. Okay, so array 0, so ito, sulat muna natin yung iterations natin. Array 2, dot, 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 array 3, 4, and so on. Okay? So if you access array 0, so isusulat natin siya, let's say, sa first line, and since yung block size natin is equal to 8 words, then you also have to fetch the 7 remaining words. Okay, so you have to access 1, so you have to access index 1, index 2, up until index 7. And so, whenever you have to access index 1 at the next iteration, this would be a hit. So this is a miss, this would be a hit. What about yung array right here? So it's also a hit. Array 3, it's also a hit up until array 7, which is also a hit. Now what happens if you have array 8? So since again, wala pa siya dun sa cache, isulat ko muna siya. But now, since fetch ko siya from the main memory, and now you have 8 words that you can store per line. So this would be 8, 9, dot, 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 up until 15, nag-agree? So up until array 15. And so, ano ngayon yung pattern natin for this particular cache configuration? for every 1 miss, meron tayong 7 na hits. So for all of those 8 accesses, 7 of which would be hits. And so, the hit rate would be 7/8. Okay? Nakasulat ba siya dito? 7/8 right here. Okay, so let's try to check this dun sa RIPE simulator ulit. Para lang meron tayong visualization. Okay, so how will the cache configuration look? Sige, ilan muna yung isa-set natin dito sa words per line. So since you have 8 words, you would need a value of 3 right here. How about the number of ways? So since meron kang dalawang lines, you have 2 ways right here. Okay? So if you have this cache configuration, notice na ito ngayon yung partitioning natin for the addresses. Okay? Since you have 8 words, you would need 5 bits for the offset, and then the remaining bits would be for the tag. Okay, tapos ngayon, let's try to rerun lang yung program. So you have here, right? So miss muna siya right here, and then magiging hit, hit, and so on, and so forth. Then miss, right here, and then miss, tapos 7 hits ulit. Alright, so now, yung cache hit rate natin dito would approach yung 7/8. Okay, if you have to access all of those 512 words. In this case, again, 32 words lang kasi yung ina-access natin. And so, as you increase and increase that, then that would approach 7/8. Okay? Alright, any questions right here? Any question? Dun sa RIPE simulator? This is 5 because the number of words is 8. Tapos each word is 4 bytes. Okay? So, in that case, you have 32 bytes in total. So, log based of that would be the number of offset bits, which is 5. Kasi byte addressable, consider natin. Notice, no, na for the offset bits, pinapartition niya yun into this bit right here. So meron kang 2 bits lagi sa rightmost, tapos the additional here would be the remaining of the offset bits. So meron, actually, when you read books on caches, what you see is this offset is decomposed into 2 parts. So you have here the byte offset, kasi tama no, ito nagde-determine kung pang-alang byte yung kina-consider natin. And this determine yung block offset naman. So pang-ilang word yung kina-consider natin. Okay? So pang-ilang word, and then pang-ilang byte yung kina-consider natin. But for EEE 153 purposes, yung offset na yun, yung byte, pati yung block offset, pagsasamahin na lang natin into this 5 bits right here. Okay? Alright, questions? Other questions or clarifications when it comes to this one? Okay, so let's try to cap lahat lang nung diniscuss natin. So, after 3 lectures, we're finally done with yung caches. And some final notes now when it comes to caches. Of course, if you're given a problem on caches, the first thing is, okay, ano mo na yung itsura ng cache na? Right? Before you can analyze anything dun sa cache, before you can actually determine yung cache hit rate, before you can determine kung cache hit or miss ka, the first thing that you have to do is to draw first what the cash looks like. Which is what we've done naman, right here, right? You're given a cash configuration, you're given a size. The first thing that we did was, i-draw muna natin siya. Okay? And once you have that, then the next part is, okay, how do I partition yung address bits? Okay, paano ko ngayon ipapartition into tag, index, and offset bits yung aking address? And then finally, once I have kasi yung tag and yung index, I can know, hello. So right, once I have the tag and the index, I can determine saan part ng hash natin siya pwede isulat. Okay? And so with that, I can determine kung hash ito or cashless. And since I know that, I can determine what's the effective cash. Okay? So, dito naka-highlight practice, practice, and practice. Sa ulit natin, meron tayong dalawang quizzes. So, quiz on week 7 and 8 note lang na yung mga assessments na yun are updated. But it will definitely help you going into. Right? So, typical problems when it comes to caches is to determine if meron tayong hit or miss, and also yung parang overall na cash flow. Okay? Any questions dito? Any questions sa na-discuss natin about caches? Okay, so on Thursday, please prepare lang yourselves kasi magkakaroon lang tayo ng quiz. Open notes naman, open classmates, open books, open lecture, whatever. Okay?